First off, I just want to say thank you guys for my first video of 2024 for helping it reach 1,000 views, or at this point over 1,000 views. I was not expecting that, considering it was like a last-minute video. I just wanted to talk about the topic, and didn't really think that many people would see it, but they did, so thank you for that. Now, let's talk about this topic, another band that I love so dearly that they are tattooed on my arm. I can't really get a good angle for you to see the whole thing, but we're here talking about Kiss, a band who just ended their 50-year run. Or did they? Because this was like the third time that they've had an end-of-the-road tour, but this time I truly thought it was going to be it. I mean, in 2000 they used the excuse that it was the farewell tour for the original lineup, that you're probably never going to see that lineup again, and then shortly after Eric Singer came back, Tommy Thayer joined the band, and they put on Ace and Peter's makeup, and that had been the lineup ever since that moment. And in 2019, Kiss announced a farewell tour. Now granted, shows did get pushed back because of something that was out of their control, which was COVID. Since 2021, up until December 2nd of 2023, the band toured for one last time. They made a major announcement at the end of their last show in Madison Square Garden, and that was Kiss was not going to die. They are not done yet. I mean, they kind of are, but let me explain it to you. Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and the other bandmates, you know, they're done touring, doing all that stuff, making new music, because they're all getting up there, late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s at this point, that it just takes a toll on them. They can't and don't want to do it anymore. So what was the resolution to keep Kiss going? Well, they're now an AI-generated avatar band.
Look how they mess with my boy.
Or at least they will be, because the first show with this new Avatar band is not going to take place until 2027, which is 3 years from now, meaning I will be 29 years old and still upset that Kiss is doing this. Why am I upset? Because it just seems like they can't let it go. They can't let the Kiss legacy live on just by itself. There's plenty of bands that just did what they did, and then when they disappeared, people still listen to their music. I mean, people still love Nirvana, their merch is still sold everywhere, and yet they haven't put out an album in 31 years because of a tragedy that happened 30 years ago. When My Chemical Romance broke up, people were still, you know, going out, buying the CDs, buying the music, buying the merch, without any stupid gimmick taking place in between. They may have had some re-releases of stuff, but they're not the only band that has done that anyway. But with Kiss, they're just so money hungry, and I know the jokes about, well, Gene and Paul are Jewish, so, you know, obviously they're money hungry. I'm not gonna go there, but we have seen over the years that those two really, really like some cash. I mean, Kiss has been merchandised into every little thing. I own some of it because, well, I'm a big fan. I listened and I love their stuff, and I got to see them live. It may not have been the lineup that I wanted to see, but I got to see them live, and I got to see the show for what it was. And I think that's what's going to be the most disappointing about these avatars, is it's never going to really feel like a Kiss show. Because the thing that made actual live-action Kiss shows amazing was, oh man, you're seeing this guy spit fire and drool blood, and Ace Frehley's shooting fireworks out of his guitar and smoke's coming out of it. It just looked cool. Like, you see it, and then when you see it with your own eyes, you're like, wow, this is everything I've pictured and better. And even though over the years it did get repetitive and you know, kind of, you know, more boring, I mean, you gotta think from the old age and just them sticking with the gimmick, it was kind of gonna be played out to begin with, but at least they wanted to give people a show every night. But Gene and Paul are so far up their own ass that I feel like this is a move that they pulled off so that way they can say, we're the first band that has done this. I really think at this point, they don't look at Kiss as a band, they look at it as some sort of ploy for money at this point, even in retirement, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but my God, at this point, they just see Kiss as them and nobody else. I mean, yeah, they praised Tommy and Eric for keeping the band going after the reunion, but during that whole tour, including on the last show, they were never like, special thanks to Ace Frehley, Peter Criss, who, started it all. Special thanks to Vinnie Vincent, Bruce Kulick, Eric Carr, Mark St. John. They just seem to live in their own world where they want Kiss to be what they want it to be. If it's not what they want it to be and everybody looks at the past, then they're not satisfied. But look at the past. I mean, yeah, they look back and go, oh, it was a great 50 years. And I know in interviews there was Gene Simmons who said, you can't just look at this without Peter and Ace. They did help start the foundation of the band. But all the shit talking and stuff that they've done about those two, talking about them like that just doesn't feel genuine, and it just feels like they're still saying that to slight them. Like, hold on a second, we'll talk about them for like a minute. Like, they had not too big of a part to do with the band, but they still had something little. It's like, no, motherfuckers, they are co-founders of the band, and yet you're just writing them off in history because you don't like them or you don't like the lifestyle that they lived.
You son of a bitch.
I guess when you look at it and the whole AI taking over thing and it being 2024, it's not really surprising, but at the same point in time, I feel like it's just a dumb way to continue the legacy of the band. You never wanted the band to be this thing where it's like, oh, we're gonna look like comic book characters, be cartoony and all this kind of stuff. And when you look at the AI avatars, it's like, this is what you set out not to be, and yet here you are doing it because you just don't want Kiss to actually officially end, and you want to continue it because a younger generation is into you. When I said earlier, younger generations will still buy the music and the merch of older bands that aren't around anymore because they truly enjoy that music. I mean, fuck, I got a goddamn tattoo of a band that doesn't even exist. I wasn't around the whole 50 years of Kiss's experience. I'm 25 going on 26, but I can tell you, they were a lot of my childhood into my adulthood, even though I did kind of stop listening to them for a long while. Once I got back into them, I started to realize, this is why I appreciated and loved Kiss. Without them, I would never have been able to widen my horizons with music or even be introduced to rock music. Okay, maybe I would have been introduced to rock music because my parents listened to that stuff, and my uncles and whatnot, they were heavy into rock music, still are. So I still would have gotten into rock music without Kiss, but they did so many different genres and stuff that I don't think it would have ever opened my eyes to other sorts of music if it wasn't for them doing all sorts of things from heavy metal to disco to pop. All in all, I will still miss Kiss, the actual people behind Kiss. These avatars, even though I'm criticizing them now, who knows, maybe when that first show does take place in 2027 and clips come at it and it looks cool, then sure, maybe I'll eat my words, but to me, I just don't, I don't understand it. Like, when I think of the band Kiss, I think of the great stage show they put on, the people behind it. I don't want to sit and watch a screen like I'm in a theater unless I'm watching a Kiss movie, which, I mean, hey, there is a Kiss movie coming out on Netflix this year called Shout It Out Loud, so I guess we'll get that, but at least I won't be in a movie theater. I'll be in the comfort of my own home. So overall, that's what I think. I think right now this whole thing is just kind of weird, to be honest, because they keep teasing this is the end, and then something always pops up to kind of contradict that, and I shouldn't have fell for it. I really truly thought this time was going to be the end, and even though technically it is, it's also not, in a way that they found a way to use a loophole to their advantage. And it's just, at this point, it's like, stop deceiving the fans and just do what you want to do, and that's officially retire without doing anything Kiss related. I don't think anybody would be upset about that at this point in time. 50 years was the perfect place to stop, and they should have stopped there, but they don't want to, because this AI computer generated band is going to continue a legacy that frankly can never be matched again. So that's my thoughts. You can tell me in the comments below, what do you think? But until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.